Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Lavaca County Commissioners Court. Today is May 12th, 2025, and this is your 10 a.m. regular edition of County Court. And we will start with confirmation of roll call. Precinct 1.
Here.
Precinct 2.
Here.
Precinct 3.
Here.
And Precinct 4.
Present.
And the judges here shall let the record reflect that all 5 of us are here, present, and accounted for. And with that, we will, if you'll stand with me, we'll have our prayer and our pledges. Our Most Heavenly Father, thank you for this wonderful day here in Lavaca County. Thank you for our springtime weather. Thank you for the recent rainfall that we've received. Lord, we're so blessed we're not in a burn ban right now, but we know we're still dry and we could use some more water. Lord, bless this governing body as we make decisions today for all of Lavaca County. And just guide us, mentor us. Please continue to love us along the process. And we ask all these blessings in your name. Amen. Amen. All right, with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right. Thank you all for joining us, whether you're live here in the courtroom, present in the courtroom, or watching us online. We appreciate your attentiveness to what's happening in Lavaca County. Got a few technical difficulties. I'm waiting for the package to arrive on my email, but we will do the best we can. Do we have any announcements or public comments today? We have one. Mr. Shannon DeVorst. You would state your name for the court, please?
Yes, sir. Shannon DeVorst, County Extension Agent here in Lavaca County. I'm here today to represent the V.G. Young Institute of County Governments and to award Commissioner 3, Kenny Siegel, for 13.25 hours of continuing education through the V.G. Young Institute for educational training. All right.
All right. I now see the problem. I don't have internet connection. That's my problem. So it never downloaded the. You want to come forward, Mike? Quick. Sorry. I was at a conference in Lubbock Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. So our agenda packet went out. I saw the package. I read the package, but on my cell phone, and so I never booted that computer up. So that's what the problem is. But this is Mike Whitten. He's doing a fantastic job. Any other announcements? So I was in Lubbock for Probate Academy. Wonderful experience. It's always good. TAC puts on some great programs for us. This was specifically for judges and clerks. I think, Barbara, you were there as well. Wonderful conference. We went to guardianship training, mental health training, some basic probates and pertaining to wills. But it's also a good time for judges to get together, clerks to get together and collaborate together. So it's always is neat when we get, and then we get to share problems amongst other counties. So whatever problem we're having is probably happening in other counties as well, and it's just nice to get together. So I brought a lot of things back, just especially after the meetings, just in the hallways discussing with the judges some of the things that they're doing with safety and security, with building plans and different so on and so forth. So great time. Do we have a presentation from State Health Services? All right. Any other announcements? If not, then we'll go to number 2. Discuss the Region 8 annual report and go over the Lavaca County Public Health Summary presented by the Department of State Health Services. Y'all want to come forward? If you would, state your name for the court, please.
Hi, I'm Lauren Werner, public health nurse with the Texas Department of State Health Services.
And the floor is yours, so you've got it.
All right. Good morning. As just mentioned, my name is Lauren Werner. I am with the Texas Department of State Health Services, Public Health Region 8. And I want to thank you today for the opportunity to come briefly share the 2024 Lavaca County Annual Public Health Report. I believe each of you should have a copy of this report, but for anyone else in the audience, there is copies in the back. I also have here with me today Ms. Sabrina Ponton. She is our new community health specialist, also employed by DSHS, and we are located here in Hallettsville. We continue to provide coverage in Lavaca and Gonzales counties. Dr. Jennifer Shuford is the Commissioner of Health. Dr. Lillian Ringsdorf is our current Region 8 Medical Director, and Gail Morrow is our Deputy Regional Director. And also present here with me today is Ms. Rachel Warnes. She's the Regional Planner with Emergency Preparedness and Response. Being shared with you is a copy of the Lavaca County Report, which highlights a summary of public health disease, plus many of our local health activities and initiatives. This past year, there was 31 foodborne illnesses, 2 vaccine-preventable diseases, 30 newly reported STDs, and 2 positive rabies animals. We continue to support our local schools, healthcare providers, and hospitals regarding immunizations and notifiable disease conditions. At our local office here in Hallettsville, we administer routine vaccines to children and adults who qualify for our services, with 196 vaccines given this past year. In addition, HIV/STD testing and treatment services are also available. We work with agencies like AgriLife and Health Ministries, serving and assisting on community events like the Kids Health Party and quarterly Sharps Drives, and collaborating with our local libraries and schools to provide education on health and safety-related topics. Sabrina and I are both a part of the DSHS Community Health Improvement Program, which focuses on many programs addressing the health and well-being of mothers and children, including safe sleep, breastfeeding, nutrition, smoking cessation, and child injury prevention. This past year, I obtained my certification as a certified lactation consultant. This certification allows me to be of assistance to breastfeeding moms within our community to better support their needs. Child car passenger safety is a need we often see in the community as well, and as technicians, we collaborate every year with WIC and your local daycares to provide resources and education on this topic. We also perform car seat inspections and installation at our office in Hallettsville by client appointment. I would like to thank you, Judge Mudd, and the commissioners for your continued support of the Texas Department of State Health Services. Our mission is always to protect and improve the health and well-being of people in Lavaca County, but also Region 8, and without your support, we would not be able to do that. So thank you for your time today, and thank you for your continued support.
Thank you as well. Commissioners, do you have any questions, comments?
If you think of any questions, I just want to mention on the back of this report is all of our programs, as well as the managers. You're always welcome to contact them or even contact us at our office as well.
Okay, thank you very much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
your report.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, item number 4, acknowledge Governor Greg Abbott's proclamation renewing the disaster proclamation concerning border security. That's found on page 23 and 24.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
are you on number 4 or 3?
I skipped number 3, you're right. All right, sorry. Man, this has been one of those days.
It's all good.
Let's go back to number 3. Is Chamber here? Discuss and or approve proclamation declaring the city of Hallettsville as a tourism-friendly community. Ms. Jennifer Hagan, do you want to come forward? And that's found on page 22.
I am Jennifer Hagan, the Executive Director of the Hallettsville Chamber of Commerce here in Hallettsville, Texas. And we're here to ask for the judge and the commissioner's approval for the proclamation for our Texas-friendly certification, Texas tourism-friendly certification for the city of Hallettsville and Lavaca County.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm going to read this proclamation.
Okay.
And then I'm going to ask these commissioners to approve it. The proclamation is from Lavaca County, whereas the Hallettsville Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture, along with the Hallettsville Visitor Center, has played a vital role in promoting economic development, supporting local businesses, and showcasing the unique charm and culture of our community. And whereas the Chamber serves as a central resource for entrepreneurs, farmers, ranchers, and small business owners, while the Visitor Center welcomes travelers, encourages tourism, and highlights the many attractions of Hallettsville and Lavaca County. And whereas through organizing events, fostering partnerships, and providing essential services and information, the Chamber and Visitor Center continue to enhance the quality of life for the residents and strengthen the community's economic foundation. And whereas the City of Hallsville is proud to recognize the dedication and service of the staff, volunteers, and members who make the Chamber and Visitor Center a trusted and valued institution. Whereas welcoming visitors from near and far has always been and always will be the enduring ethos of travel industry and of Hallsville. Now therefore, I, Keith Mudd, Judge of Lavaca County, do hereby proclaim May 12, 2025 as Hallsville is a tourism-friendly community. So I would ask you guys, on behalf of that proclamation and on behalf of what all the Chamber is doing in Hallsville, is to designate this as a tourism-friendly community. So do I have a motion? Do I hear
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Precinct 4, second by Precinct 3 to approve the proclamation. Any questions or comments? Good work. We are the city of hospitality here in Hallsville. Is that correct?
Yes, that is
Okay.
absolutely correct.
And there was another slogan that came up one time. What was that? The best time in Texas.
The best time in Texas.
Yes. I mean, that truly is, with the Casey Hall being, I call it the ninth wonder of the world. I mean, people walk in, this is all charitable donation? Yeah, this is pretty much it, but it is the best time in Texas, so. We had a motion by Precinct 4, second by Precinct 3. All those in favor of approving, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion approves. Thank you very much.
Can we get a picture by
We
any
could, we
chance?
sure, I think we could. You want to come forward for a picture? You have anyone else with the Chamber today? Ms. Barbara Kane, a longtime member of. You have one? Good. Ah, okay.
Behind us, I guess.
They could stand in front of us, so we could stand up there.
Barbara, just sign up. You're not board president?
Come on, squeeze in here.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all very much. Thank you.
The only other question, how did the moms with mimosas go? Was that- I thought that was pretty clever, moms with mimosas. All right. And happy belated Mother's Day to everyone, all the mothers here in the room today or listening live. I had a wonderful Mother's Day yesterday. I'm not the mother that had a wonderful day, but I had a wonderful day with my mothers, plural, so. Okay. Now, what am I on, number 4? We are on to number 4. Now, number 4, acknowledge Governor Greg Abbott's proclamation renewing the disaster proclamation concerning border security. That's found on page 23 and 24. Do I hear a motion?
I so moved.
Second.
There's a motion made by Precinct 2, second by Precinct 1, to acknowledge Governor Greg Abbott's proclamation renewing the disaster proclamation concerning border security. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 5, discussion approved bond for Dalton Lee, Patrol Deputy with the Sheriff's Department. It's found on page 25 through 30. Do I hear a motion?
Your Honor, I move we approve a bond for Dalton Lee, Patrol Deputy for the Sheriff.
Second.
Motion made by Precinct 1, second by Precinct 2 to approve the bond for Dalton Lee, Patrol Deputy. Any questions or comments? Other than welcome aboard, that's all I have. Anyway, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Welcome aboard, Dalton Lee. Number 6, discuss and approve the road closures request for the annual Sweet Home Fireman's Fest from May 16th through May 17th for Lavaca County Roads 391, 378C, 391E, and 397. It's brought to you by Precinct 3, found on page 31 and 32.
It's basically the same road we shut down every year
Okay?
for that. And with that, I'd like to turn that into a motion to approve.
Okay. Motion made by Precinct 3,
Second.
second by Precinct 1, to approve the road closures request for The annual Sweet Home Fireman's Fest from May 16th through May 17th for Lavaca County Roads 391, 378C, 391E, and 397. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 7, discuss and approve disposition of real property formerly known as County Road 391D, consisting of a .65 acre tract of land located in Sweet Home. That's found, brought to you by Precinct 3.
Yes, this is part 2. I tabled this last week, had a little question about it, but basically this is the easement between the Sweet Home Hall and a baseball field.
Right. It's basically community property,
Yeah.
so to speak.
So with that, I would like to approve the disposition of real property formerly known as County Road 391D, consisting of .65 acre tracts of land located in Sweet Home.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Precinct 3, second by Precinct 4, to approve the disposition of real property formerly known as County Road 391D, consisting of a .65 acre tract of land located in Sweet Home, Texas. That's found on exhibits, an exhibit on page 33 and 35. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes. Number 8, discuss and approve extending the deadline for concrete and labor projects on Lavaca County roads in Precinct 1, 2, and 3 to May 21st, 2025. This is due to a scheduling concern, is that?
Yes, it was a scheduling
Okay.
conflict.
So, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Motion made by Precinct 3, second by Precinct 1, to approve extending the deadline for concrete and labor projects for Lavaca County roads in Precinct 1, 2, and 3 to May 21st, 2025. Anyone that's listening here on that, if you have any questions or comments, contact Nailing Rupert in the judge's office. She'll make sure that you understand what the extension was for. So, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 9, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Ryan Pope, and that's found on Precinct 3 on page 36 to 39.
Yes, it's, the whole place is 36.93 acres. They're gonna make 8 lots, and every entrance will be coming off of County Road 335. And everything looks good. I know this gentleman has done this before in the county. And with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the certificate of exemption for subdivision requirements for Ryan Pope.
Okay. Motion made by Precinct 3, second by Precinct 4 to discuss, motion made by Precinct 3, second by Precinct 4 to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Ryan Pope on County Road 335. Any other questions or comments? Wayne?
If I could, this is less than 5 acres? Does that mean anything?
It means they have to come here
Yes.
to get approval.
Yes.
Yeah. But they're over an acre, so it's gonna meet all the state requirements, and the widths of those lots are, the smallest one's 180 foot across.
Yeah, so it's.
So you got 4 acres, 4 acres, 8 acres, 4.23. So it would be, there'd be no reason to,
Okay.
and again, I've said this before, which is gonna come up here later in just a minute. Again, Mother's Day weekend, driving down my father's road is a 1-lane road basically through there. You can't, if you develop it anymore, you're gonna have there's already traffic congestion sometimes. And if the roads wet, the ditches are wet, you can't yield to the oncoming car. So we're gonna have to address some of these roads if they do not have the width of an easement for sufficient enough for a 2-lane car passage, for emergency response or whatever. You know, if you had an ambulance heading one way and you got a bus heading the other way and you've got a ditch full of water, you got problems.
The
So,
existing county road's gonna at least need to be 40 foot wide from fence line to fence line. And we're pushing for 60 later on.
so, go ahead.
With that in mind, I was at the county clerk's office last week looking at, for some, I guess, paperwork that had been filed regarding some of the county roads, and to see what the original easement was, to verify the width of the easement. And I had trouble doing that, and it's not, your staff is marvelous, it's not that. It's, I'm not sure we know how to do it, and I was kind of in a hurry, and so we did find part of what we were looking for. But I don't know, has that information been recorded in terms of the original easements of these roadways?
Basically, back in the time, back in horse and buggy time, landowners would move fences to have, where the public can utilize them. And back in, I'm saying, 18 years ago, so House Bill 1117, we took care of that. So any type of county maintained right-of-way where the fences are, you know, you get the grandchildren and children when the parents die, where, you know, they find the deed with their property line, let's say went in the middle of the road. But no, once that, with that House Bill 1117, where the fences are, there's no encroachment on that easement no more. So basically, you were just talking about deeds, you'll probably never find a deed to these roads back in the past.
Yeah.
Just a handshake agreement.
Yes, or it wasn't nothing, it was just between landowners where they needed to get to the town, doctor, or whatever, just in horse and buggy days to get through property.
And that's what's slowing our projects down now. So we've got state and federal funding coming in, and they're saying, slow down, we're not gonna do this road till we survey this road. So there's,
Right.
so they come in to survey it, and there we go.
That's where we are now.
Yeah.
We're there now, and that's what, I appreciate the clarification, Commissioner, thank you for that, because,
If you need any more information, look up House Bill 1117,
okay,
and that'll kind of tell you what the process was that we did back then, because we also we had to take it to court and whatever, if anybody wanted to argue the situation, we set dates for that. And there's very few people that ever came back and disputed the right of ways.
well, you're right in the sense that a lot of the property says to the middle of the road. And so, but 1117 clarified that?
Correct.
Yes. So we've had this come up since I've been in office.
2005.
We have the notebook in my office where that's now the gospel. The roads are the roads. And so that happened, what year did it happen?
2005, I think.
I can't recall, like I said, it's approximately
2005, 2006.
Okay,
Basically,
somebody got
the
the
state
dates on
stepped in and said, no more land disputes over where that property boundary is. Whatever the roads are now are the roads. And if you had some time to dispute that, you didn't dispute it, that's the roads are the roads. So we have that book in my office, and someone will say, oh, this was the road. Well, yeah, that was the road, but in 2005, we said, no, this is the road. So that we're not gonna maintain that extra road. And that's what we're doing right here, where there's some roads we're putting back on the property's landowners' tax rolls, because we never developed the road, or we're not gonna use the road. But that book is back there as well.
Okay.
And then, so the other thing that came up was, we had a landowner said, hey, I've surveyed my land, my corner fence post should be in the middle of that road. No, as of 2005, the road is the road, so that's not gonna take place. So that law superseded his right to put the T-post back in the corner, in the middle of the road. Now, going forward, is problematic. We probably should be surveying more roads as we're building new culverts and doing bridges, and I think bridges definitely gonna have a survey involved. But the roads are the roads. According to that, and then we have a book that explains that.
Okay,
Sooner or
thank you.
later, we're gonna need to get
And
in
that's, do y'all get access to that? You give access to that at the clerk's office?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the same thing. So the clerk's office has that same thing. I probably have the copy, is what I have in my
I think he
office.
said one in the office.
Yeah. But we refer to it all the time in my office. Somebody comes in complaining about something, and we'll pull that out. That, your road you're complaining about doesn't even, that's not our road. So, okay.
Thank you.
Hope that makes sense.
Makes sense, thank you.
All right, I had a motion by precinct 3, second by precinct 4, to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Ryan Pope. Any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving right along, number 10, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Elizabeth Allen. That's found on page 1, it's found on page 40 through 42, and that's out of precinct 1.
Yes, Miss Elizabeth Allen is giving 1 acre of land to her daughter, and it meets all the requirements, so we need to exempt her from subdivision. It's going from mom to daughter.
Okay. Is that a motion?
Yes.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2, to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Elizabeth Allen. The only question I would have is, Ms. Naleen, have they come in for a septic permit? Yes. Not that I'm aware of. Okay, so they're on 1 acre, that septic has to be in that 1
It's-
acre?
They have to meet all the setback requirements.
Okay,
It's joining her mother's property there, so I,
but even if it joins, if the
Okay,
septic goes, they
okay,
shouldn't
yeah.
have the right to go across their property line, so they'd
Yeah.
have to come seek a variance or something, and, I know we've had that in Whitting where you've got somebody's septic is running on someone else's land, and it's confusing. Okay, but they have not come in for a permit, correct? Okay, just,
We have affidavits to cover that.
gotcha, okay. Had a motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 11, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Donald and Ruth Muir. That's found on page 43 through 46 and brought to you by precinct 1.
yes, this piece of property adjoins 61 acres of their land, and it's part of the Muir Estate, and it meets all the requirements to be exempt from our subdivision plans, so it joins their sisters and other property of the Muir family. So with that, we need to exempt them from the subdivision.
Okay, is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Second?
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2 to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Donald and Ruth Muir. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 12, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Jeffrey Elliott Minking. That's found on page 47 through 50, and that's brought to you by precinct 1.
This is a strip of property that's it's an easement going to a cemetery. It is owned by Jeffrey Minkin, and he is giving the land to his first cousin, Alan Minkin. I'm a little confused at how wide, how much property it is. We don't have acreage, we have 2 acres plus or minus 1 acre. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah. So, I'm familiar with this access. That goes back to the Poggle Cemetery, and I have to access that sometimes myself.
It's a 30-foot piece of property, and at the end of that piece of property is a cemetery. So it's been used to get to the cemetery in the past. And I know
It's the only, I think it's the only access to that cemetery.
yes.
So but all the Minkin Family Trust is doing is just deeding that strip to Allen, right?
Yes.
But it doesn't change, it cannot change the
It cannot
cemetery
change,
access,
no.
the easement. Okay. I don't have on the surface, I don't have a problem with that in particular.
I don't have a problem with that.
But I've never seen the easement either. I don't have, so, it's just basically changing hands of that
The
strip.
easement, it's not like an alleyway with a fence on each side. There's only one fence, and the easement runs east and west down the side of the fence,
Okay.
all the way to the cemetery. And the property around the cemetery belongs to one family member, and he wants to give it to the other family member so he can get to his property from now on, because the Lavaca River runs through it on the other. And he has property on both sides.
Gotcha. Okay, so, again, that's all they're asking us for, is just that little strip.
All he's asking
He's not,
for is our permission.
Alan Minkin in the back is not subdividing his land any
No.
further. If he did subdivide it further, that strip may not be large enough, or would it?
I
So,
can't-
but they can go back to the table on that, so. I don't have a problem on the surface of it, so,
Existing easement there now, right?
There's, I don't know if it's an easement or not, but it's a
There's a
piece of
road?
it's a road going to a cemetery at the far end of it.
and they didn't declare anything with the cemetery, but I think they just understand that, but Do we need a table so we have full disclosure on the easement? Because if you look on the map, if you look on the Bernard Brown survey underneath there, that shows a clear path
Yes,
back to that cemetery.
yes.
So that's just the front portion of that path. So, again, it's an easement, someone has to own it, so all they're doing is transferring ownership of that
Yes.
portion. So I don't have a problem necessarily.
I think it's pretty good, setting right.
And
I don't think anything's changing.
yeah, I don't think it's changing, and it's possible maybe Alan's gonna put a house back there or something, I don't know, so that's not a problem. If he wants to subdivide it further, we have to come back to the table and
Yes,
discuss if that's a large enough easement, large enough stroke. All right, what do you wanna do?
I would grant the exemption.
Are you gonna approve that in form of a motion?
In the motion, I move that we accept that as a exempt from our subdivision
Okay.
regulations
All right,
for the Minkins.
motion made by precinct one,
I will make the second.
will not,
I'll second it.
okay. Motion made by precinct one, second by precinct three to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Jeffrey Elliott Minkin. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay. All right, this one's gonna be confusing one, I think. This, number 13, discuss and approve the Reininger,
Reininger,
how do you pronounce it?
that's close enough.
Close enough.
Reininger.
Reininger Family Living Trust subdivision application, including their subdivision private road use agreement. That's brought to you by precinct one, found on page 51 through 56.
This one is a little more exciting. It's 423 acres divided into 7 lots. The largest is 120-something, then it goes to 17, to 20, to 40, to just a bunch. But I need a little more clarification before I say you're exempt, because it's, I can't make it out. Let me just say
I agree on that. We met with Jesse Allen, I think 2 weeks ago? We have
Something like that.
Jesse,
Yes,
Mr. Allen came in the office, we had brought Mr. Reeves in as well. It's how many acres is it total?
423.
423 acres, subdividing 7 ways, but not giving to family. She wants to sell those tracts, and I think we possibly have an easement dispute already from a landowner that has to cross that to get to where he's going. So that's got to be looked into. So I don't have enough information today. Ever you said the
I
same?
don't either.
All right, but I think we need to,
Okay. Before we table that, I
Mhm.
just, is that just a long ranch road that goes through there?
That's
a
just a
private-
ranch road.
Private lane?
it's an
It's a
exit.
ranch road. It just recently was named Private Road 1901.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
they've-
around the railroad track?
No,
We had some revisions to
That's
the,
gas line.
gas, I guess. It's not a railroad.
they revised the road agreement. We had one agreement that came in. We reviewed it with Mr. Allen, and there were some things we didn't like about it. We asked him to go back to landowner. He said he agreed. He's going to go back to landowner. It came back. I have not had time to fully divulge that plan. But the problem I have is if, he's got deed restrictions on there. You can't put manufactured homes, that sort of thing. And no tract can be divided further without prior written consent of Lavaca County. But if someone wants to come divide it, I can't divide it and let them come out on someone's private road. So that null and voids that. So I think we need to go back and make sure we have the clarity of what they're trying to do, want to do. If we get that clarity, I have no problem. Jesse Allen, is Mr. Allen here today? He is not in court. Okay, Mr. Allen was unable to make it today, but we can get with that and bring it back in short order. And we also I still have not talked to Allison Bass out of Austin on this one. I want to go have another,
If I'm looking at this map correctly, you got another private easement that goes back in through here.
that's the problem. Okay.
That's the problem right
Well, that we have, there's some other landowner that has to go through that property, and
Right.
he's possibly already having problems getting in and across his property, so we need to double check on that.
Okay.
So we'll get clarity on that. So do I hear a motion to table?
Yes.
Second.
Motion made by precinct one, seconded by precinct three to table item number 13 till we have further clarification or instructions from attorneys. All those in favor of tabling, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That project is tabled again. Okay, but we are making progress. Table, but making progress. Number 14, discuss and approve resolution designating authorized signatories for contractual and financial documents pertaining to the GLO Community Development Block Grant Mitigation CDBG-MIT Method Distribution Program. And that's contract number 24-065-129-E987, found on page 57 through 59. Anybody want to walk me through that one? This is on the one we've been waiting for 2.5 years, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I need y'all's approval to have signatures. So do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3, to approve the resolution designating authorized signatories for the GLO mod program. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, there,
Go ahead.
who prepared the document? This came from GLO or it came from the, I'm just.
This came out of the General Land's office.
Because I see the blanks.
Yes. So we've got county judge's name in there. They want my signature on it. They want
County auditor.
county auditors on there as well. This is pretty much just standard language.
Treasurer.
Yeah.
Someone's got to sign for everything you guys do,
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
for the most part.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of bureaucracy with this. I know it's going to be frustrating because we have not done these types of programs, but my goodness, I think I already had to sign a stack of 25 documents. But anyway, we've been approved of that. We're ready to move forward.
Absolutely.
So this is y'all giving me the authority to sign, is basically what you're doing.
Okay.
So we had a motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Again, these next items are going to be related to that. A lot of bureaucracy involved here. Number 15, discuss and approve to adopt the resolution regarding the civil rights policies for the GLO Community Development Block Grant Mitigation CDBG-MIT Method of Distribution MOD Program. Contract number 24-065-129-E987. Do I hear approval?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to approve, to adopt the resolution regarding the civil rights policies.
Basically, this is with the LMI and housing urban development deal, that we met the criteria.
Right. So with all of these projects with the federal and state government, we have to do low to moderate income studies. 50% of our projects need to be in low to moderate income sections of the county. It's hard to find and prove, but we've done that. So we've passed those tests. Now we're moving forward. This is going to be, some of this is going to be County Road 1. What projects are you working on this? You want to state that for the court again? What road numbers are going to be affected by this funding?
County Road 1?
County Road 1,
211.
211,
392.
392,
462,
462,
461, excuse me.
461. Okay, so those 4 roads are going to get some funding put to them to put some new culverts and
But Judge,
asphalt.
this been happening now for about 2 years, you know?
Y'all approved it before me and Wayne got here. I just want to say that. So
It's work in progress.
I'd like to take full credit for that, but I can't take full credit.
Well, you can, because we didn't actually get the funding until January and February of '23. It had gone back and forth at the Golden Crescent, and we had been shortchanged about 50 to 60% of the funding. And so you and I worked with them and made those meetings, and the funding more than doubled. And so that approval came in our tenure, so you know.
That's right, I forgot about that part. You went down,
Yes, sir.
that was the best meeting you ever attended.
Yes, sir.
We were about to get the wool pulled over us.
Yeah, it was worth about $4 million to us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. You bet. No
Well, then, in follow-up to this, you wrote a demand letter saying, get this going.
Yeah, I did that too, because I'm not a fan of delays and impediments to the whole idea. This money is left over from Harvey. Anybody remember when Tropical Storm Harvey hit? About 2017. So this funding is still dragging on 8 years later, and so they have to spend it. And so we were eligible for that, and so, because we were, adversely impacted, and so, I had to go and explain our position. Lavaca County historically has been, marginalized, in those functions. And so I just felt, hey, we need to fix this. Now, no good deed goes unpunished. And so as a result of that, we've got a lot of red tape here.
Lots.
But we have, we hope that our staff will not let that adversely impact them, and that you will communicate with our contractors, be it the grant administrators or our engineers, and put that back on them. We're not trying to add work to you. We're paying them to do a service, and we want them to do that service. So don't take on their work by any means. So this should be minimal in terms of impact to what we're doing here. They need to make all the numbers work. They need to make all these, I guess, what I would say, structural impediments that they're going to hand us to get that done. So they're having to go out now and survey. I heard from several people, even from your area. Hey, what are those surveyors doing out there? Well, they're surveying. They have to do elevation shots, and they have to check the boundaries of the roads. And they're going to do that, and they're going to come up with a survey saying, this is your land, and you can make changes to it. And so that's where we are today, Judge.
And it would be environmental studies?
Environmental studies.
Yeah, and
We have
make sure that
some
there's not an
endangered
endangered
species.
toad out there somewhere. But, to the citizens that are listening or paying attention, it's frustrating. I'm going to give you two stories. The first story is when we first carved this out, and Precinct 1 was looking for low to moderate income, and we talked about what needs to be addressed. We talked about County Road 14,
Yes,
which
sir.
is a kind of an artery going from Speaks back towards 111, and this is funny, the grant administrator, she was just frothy. She said, oh, this is going to work. This is perfect. Look at these little shanties out here, just whatever. I'm like, ma'am, those are deer stands. When you deal with Austin, that's what you get. And I'm like, deer stands? Those are deer stands. Yeah, that's a 4x4 or 6x, looks, those aren't houses. Anyway, so, okay. And
That is
so-
not an option for your homeless population in Austin.
Yeah, exactly. So then we went to County Road 1, so the next note I want to say is, I've been arguing with the GLO office, is like, get this approved, because we're going to have to fix the road before we can fix the road, because when Edward said, let's do precinct 1, well, that road was in deterioration, it needed to be repaired. Well, that's 2.5 years ago.
Yes, sir.
And it makes no sense to go fix the road before they come fix the road, so it's just been getting worse and worse, and people are getting frustrated. But if they see the survey sticks, it's coming.
Yeah.
And it's a long time. It's frustrating dealing with, I love my Austinites, but I'd like to keep them in Austin. That's kind of where they need to stay. Okay. So, motion made by Precinct 4, second by Precinct 3 to approve to adopt the resolution regarding the civil rights policies. Do we hear a motion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Sorry. Motion passes. So we have our civil rights policies as it relates to those roads passed. Number 16, discuss and approve proclamation declaring June as Lavaca County's Fair Housing Month. It's found on page 71. So this is part of that grant. We're going to have to declare June as Fair Housing Month. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Precinct 3, second by Precinct 4 to approve the proclamation declaring June as Lavaca County's Fair Housing Month. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. We need fair housing in Lavaca County. More housing, and yes, is true. What is, 71, where's the proclamation? I'm not going to read it, we passed it. Okay, number 17. Discuss and approve amendment number 1 for the Grant Administration Services Contract for the Community Development Block Grant Mitigation CDGB-MIT Method Distribution Mod Program, contract number 24-065-129-E987. That's found on page 72. Do I hear a motion?
Yes, I move that we approve amendment number 1 from the Grant Administration Services Contract for CDBG MIT Method Distribution Contract that you mentioned.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Approve the amendment number 1 for the Grant Administration Services contract for the Community Development Block Grant Mitigation Program. All right. Any other questions or comments? And here's the one thing that's going to come up, and it's going to come up again. We bid the project 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago, it comes forward, there's not enough materials to cover the amount that we bid 2.5 years ago. So the problem just compounds the more the government delays. So those amounts that we can pay with federal dollars will shrink or could expand, but that's part of the process. And then we can discuss if we're going to, if you guys in your individual budgets are going to continue the road and or not. But basically, these funds are going to be set for a certain amount. And then once we get contractors bid on it, we'll have to figure that out.
Go as far as they can.
We'll go as far as we can. That's what we do. We go as far as we can with the materials we have.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a motion by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 18, discussion and approve amendment number 1 for the engineering services contract for the Community Development Block Grant Mitigation CDBG-MIT Method of Distribution MOD Program, contract number 24-065-129-E987, as found on page 73.
Judge, I move that we approve item number 18, amendment number 1 for engineering services contract for this same grant.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve amendment number 1 for the engineering services contract for the Community Development Block Grant. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 19, discuss and approve applying oil and gas and miscellaneous permits revenue from the general fund to each precinct's FMR revenue account line reimbursement for damaged roads.
Yeah, Your Honor, this is, it's a cleanup provision that we've asked for. There was no really designation for these funds, and they've been, I guess, marooned in general revenue. And so this just cleans that up and allows us to designate those funds so we can repair the roads that have been damaged as a result of the permits that were issued.
Okay.
And we've got the necessary administrative part of this through the auditor and through the treasurer, and so this should be good to go.
Okay.
So I move that we approve item number 19 in applying those oil and gas permits to repair damaged roads.
All right, motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve applying oil and gas and miscellaneous permits revenue from the general fund to each precinct's FMR revenue account line reimbursement for damaged roads. Any questions or comments? The only thing I will add to this, I drove through precinct 2 pretty extensively yesterday, and that well on off of 957, all those water pipes and down Debbie Sepchik's Road. Debbie Sepchik's Road.
Can we rename that?
Debbie Sepchik Road?
Can we rename that?
Yeah, we should.
That road?
Sepchik,
Okay.
Sepchik Speedway. I mean, there's a lot of damage up and down that road, and especially those big trucks ran off the road. I get during the rain or something and got lots of ruts. Who fixes the ruts in the ditches?
They will. We're going to wait because
They're not through.
Yeah, they're not through. They have an interesting timeline. About 30 days they've drilled and they're moving on. They pulled that well down and they were out of there over the weekend a couple of weeks ago. And so now they're going to come back and frack. So I was talking to them about making those repairs, but they're going to bring in a 300,000-pound wireline rig in there to frack that, and it's going to wreak havoc. And so to repair it now would be a mistake.
Right.
So we're going to wait till the damage is done and then go back and ask them to make those repairs.
Makes sense, makes sense. So just make sure that they're aware that they're tracking it, taking pictures, and doing everything else that,
Well, I am.
okay.
I've got pictures, I've got video, I've got all of it.
We have the same thing going on in precinct 3 on 331. We're just waiting for them to clear out.
Yeah. And they know, I mean, I have to say that, you know, the better communication that we have, and that they can understand what our expectations are, and then that has been, we've had really, it's been a smooth transition, because in the past, we just didn't ask. You know, we didn't go to them and say, hey, by the way, you can't do this, or we want you to make restitution for what you did do. And so now we have a really good relationship. We communicate weekly, sometimes, you know, daily. And so we're on the right path in terms of getting that done. And so the roads need work, and it's just to our benefit that if they damage them, they come back and we're going to rebuild them. So, and they'll be better than they were before, and that should even prevent future damage if we build it correctly. So that's our plan.
All right, I want that on the record. You said you're going to rebuild those roads.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You're right.
You heard it, Debbie?
You're right. We just finished a bridge off of 245, because that 244 goes around, and that 245 bridge was what was, when I took office, TxDOT said, we're gonna pull that grant. We're pulling the money because you can't get the right-of-way straight. And I said, wait just a minute, I just showed up on the scene, so if you would give me some time, let me figure out what to do here. And I said, what is this bridge project worth to the county? $750,000 is what that bridge cost. And this is, to me, it's just across a gully. That's what I would call it. I'd call it a gully. It's not a river, it's not a creek, it's just a gully. But it's a wide expanse that carries a lot of water. And so, anyway, managed to get that right-of-way straight, and now we have a beautiful bridge across 245. I mean, it is nice. And so, and I've got 2 more projects going. So, thanks to TxDOT and I'm assuming that what happens is the federal government collects 20 cents for every gallon of fuel, and even more than 20 cents for diesel. Is sold in the state of Texas, and that goes back to the highway fund. It's supposed to. But we've been shortchanged for many, many years to the tune somewhere between 10 and 20 billion dollars that the federal government owes us in highway projects. And so,
How much?
10 to 20 billion. They're a debtor to us. But that being said, that funding that we're getting for those bridges is attached to that. So part of that money coming back to us in the county is from highway funds. And so we need to take advantage of it. It's ours.
I agree.
Somebody else took advantage of that just last week, Tuesday, I believe. Didn't they have a bailout over there?
There's lots of activity in precinct 2.
That was east of that.
But now that these bailouts, they got a new bridge across. They got a better bridge across in the,
Yeah, better access.
yeah. The bridge, I did cross that bridge yesterday. It's a beautiful bridge, and they did a heck of a good job on that. So I appreciate the residents that live out in the area are going to be appreciative of that bridge crossing. All right, I had a motion by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve item number 19. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 20, discuss and approve road plan and paving updates. Anything from the court?
Updated Wednesday, we're having 2 technicians come from R.B. Everett, and we're gonna go over the do's and don'ts with an oil spreading truck or delivery truck and a chip spreader. So that's happening Wednesday, and then Thursday, we're gonna put them into use.
All right.
And we're gonna convene at your shop?
Yes.
Okay.
I might add that Wednesday's the hottest day of the year.
Yes.
101
Like
degrees.
103 or
something.
something.
Yeah, so you
Goodness.
you
have
did
a
good.
break together? Think we can do this in the shade?
We can do it in shade. We have shade trees.
Okay, good.
Man, we're 88 today, going to jump up to 101, and I don't understand that. I'll believe it when I see it. All right, any other comments or questions or from any updates? Can't even offer quiet today. Did we skip EMS? Oh, yeah, we have an EMS, that's right. Okay, what else do I have? I was going to say something. Well, let me backtrack. It's kind of it's a announcement / ties to roads and bridges, what you just talked about. You triggered a thought process, Wayne. TxDOT is, are they replacing like 2 bridges a year? That's kind of the cycle that they're going for Lavaca County?
Yeah.
So there's a reason they're doing this, and I learned this we can't, and it goes with whether you're talking about bridges or buildings, we can't wait till everything collapses at one time. So their textile in Lavaca County is kind of redoing 2 bridges a year, and probably still has a hard time keeping up.
And that's per precinct.
Per precinct? No, that's not per precinct.
It's not?
No, that's 2 per.
Yeah, but right now, they're kind of stalled out right now.
There's only,
They're at a point where the ones that they accepted is going, but it's kind of stalled out for a while until they start accepting some more. Off-system bridge, program is what it is.
okay. But the way I've seen it, kind of the paperwork come through, is it's averaging 1 or 2 maybe per year, but there's a process to keep redoing them.
Yeah.
Because you can't wait till they all collapse at the same time. There's no way to do it, so.
But it's not every 2 years. They go through a list and
Okay,
it takes.
so that's not, so I misspoke.
Well, it's kind of depends. They go from the worst bridges to.
So let me backtrack to a statement, that this is more of an announcement because we don't have an agenda item. Talked to a judge in a county similar size to us, maybe a little bit bigger, but he said, we're trying to do a building a year.
Yeah.
Trying to address, because if you wait till everything deteriorates, you just can't wait.
The state overall, they start with the bridges that are the worst in the state, and they try to divvy it out between the counties.
Gotcha. And we have like 17 different office buildings throughout the county. I'm counting some of those tower sites too, is because it's a functional office electronically speaking. Yeah. Okay. Anything number 20? And what we're going to do before we get to consent, if you'll look on there was an addendum that we failed to put on there last. Item number 24 is going to be after consent. We're going to do 24 now. 24, last page on the addendum is acknowledge the proclamation declaring the week of May 18th through May 24, 2025 is Emergency Medical Services Week, and that's brought to you by our EMS director, who is not here, but his chief assistant, the first chief of Lavaca County, Mr. Tim Decker.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for adding this to the agenda for us. This is something that we do every year in May. It's just an acknowledgement for our EMS department nationwide. This year, the theme for EMS Week is We Care for Everyone. Of course, it's all demographics, but more in general, the way they described it this year was all people when it comes to suburban and rural EMS. I really feel like the last couple of years, rural EMS has really pushed the ballot for even the big cities. You know, they've shown that they can do a lot more with a lot little. I feel like our department is kind of the epitome of that. We got a good group of guys, as you can see in the back of the room, who come to work every day ready to knock it out of the park, and they do that. You know, when you wake up in the middle of the night to go use the restroom or go get a drink of water, you stumble through your house just trying to find your way. But these guys are up middle of the night saving people's lives. So they get a lot asked of them at moment's notice. So they do a great job. We're truly blessed to have them, and I'm truly proud of them for everything they do. So thank them for what they do. But this proclamation is just the statement that says, you know, we appreciate EMS nationwide and everything that they do. So.
Thank you for what you do. The work that y'all have been doing in Lavaca County has not gone unnoticed statewide, and that was evident at my meeting in Lubbock, Texas. We hang out with judges in the region, and they have watched us grow and watched what y'all have been doing over the last 4 or 5 years. Phenomenal work. We hope to continue that. I hope to continue it with the court's permission to, you know, we added the 4th unit, and we're going to talk about building needs as we go forward and get y'all some better living conditions, right? Thumbs up? Okay, you're nodding your head, yes.
Y'all's support has meant a lot to us, and it's helped our growth. And to be able to pass that on to the community has been very good. So we appreciate everything y'all have done for us to this far.
Well, on behalf of the entire community, the feeling is mutual, because I can't say it enough. I mean, the community is proud of what you guys are doing, and the leadership, the professionalism, the clean trucks, everything that you were doing is just phenomenal, and it's crept out of the county as well. So other counties are using you guys as examples of what to do, and I commend you, Mr. Chief Tim Decker, for leading the way here in Lavaca County. I know Michael's busy in 2 counties. Probably that's where he is today. I think I know why he's over there in Colorado today.
Yes, sir.
But always lots going on in EMS. We're proud of y'all, very proud of you, and like I said, we hope only better things can come. We're going to keep growing, keep making it
We got a great team.
It's going to be the premier outfit of the South Texas for certain.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, do we have a volunteer to read this? Anybody want to read this? All right.
And I just want to say too, Tim, it's impressive because, you know, there are a lot of things that we deal with that are not always fun, they're not always positive, they're, you know, they don't always feel good. In fact, a lot of stuff we do sometimes is forced. We have to do it. It's not something necessarily want to do. But I've noticed that y'all have a unique approach, and you have a great attitude, and it's consistent. It's consistent. You know, you're happy, you enjoy what you do, you love what you do, and it's just such an asset. And I know everybody feels the same way, and I just want to commend you for that.
Thank you. I think that really speaks to just the type of people we have. I mean, not everybody can do this job, but you can train people all day how to be an EMT, paramedic, things of that nature. I think the things that our crews have is just that personal touch when it comes to Lavaca County. And, you know, everybody knows everybody here. Everybody is somebody here. And so when we go out to those calls, having that personal connection, I really think takes that customer care, if you will, to the next level. And that really shines through in our department, I believe.
To me, you have a can-do attitude.
Yes.
And again, I want to say this again, which is redundant, but we're in between Houston and San Antonio. So any county in between there, we're the furthest from the major trauma cares right here in Lavaca County, being right at the center of it. And so having you guys ready at all times is just vital. And I don't think you probably know it. I'm not preaching to the choir. I'm preaching to the choir here. But we have to have more than the average county has because we're so far away from those trauma centers. So to save a life, you've got to be prepared for that long journey to get into the ultimate trauma center.
It definitely takes a special skill set as well, too. You're managing a patient for anywhere between 45 minutes and an hour and a half when they're on their deathbed. So, I mean, it takes a lot of skill, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of training. We've added some of those fundamentals. Captain Tollett in the back, who's now our training captain, he does a great job making sure our guys are prepared for those calls when they come in, as well as our shift captains, EMTs, and paramedics. They're ready to rock when they come to work, and they do every day.
Is he awake back there?
Wake up, Jake. Wake up.
There he is. Okay.
He spent all his time last night training, Jake, so
Okay, training,
he's trying to rest out now.
Thank you, Jake.
We love Jake.
But good group of guys and gals for sure.
Okay, well, I'd like to read the proclamation that EMS Week proclamation to designate the week of May 18th through 24th as Emergency Medical Services Week. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas emergency medical services fills healthcare gaps by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. And whereas emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical service providers by designating this Emergency Medical Services Week now. Therefore, I, Keith Mudd, and Commissioners of Lavaca County, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 18th through 24th as Emergency Medical Services Week.
All right. Thank you, Wayne, for reading that for us. I'm going to add the bottom line. It says, on the bottom line, it says this is the 51st anniversary of EMS Week. The theme is We Care for Everyone. And I think that's been the theme of even this mod grant, this stuff we're doing. The state and federal government make sure we spend it in the right places, or the places that benefits all people, not just a certain sector of people. So I like that. So we care for everyone. Appreciate it. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Precinct 3, second by Precinct 4 to acknowledge the proclamation declaring the week of May 18th through May 24, 2025 as Emergency Medical Services Week. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. Would you like to get a picture?
Sure.
Appreciate y'all.
Welcome aboard EMS personnel in the room.
Oh, look, Jake heard that.
He's awake. Jake's up.
Thank you, so appreciate it. Thank you. Thank y'all. Great job. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank y'all for what you do. I have no idea. Thank you. Thank you. That's John's department.
Y'all squeeze in for a picture? You want to move over, make sure the bench. Put Jake right in the middle. Put Jake in the middle.
Come on.
I can't
You're the biggest mess.
This way?
Awesome.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I gotta get out of that habit, too. Oh, I know, you know.
All right. We're now back to number 21, consent agenda. Do I hear unless a member of the court requests a separate consideration of any items, all under the consent agenda are considered to be of routine nature or have previously been deliberated by the court in an open meeting and therefore may be approved in one motion, second, and vote. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Second that.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3. Any questions, comments? All those, if not, all those in favor of moving to consent, say aye.
Aye.
We are in consent, and all motions, all items have been approved, and we will, microphones will go off while we're in consent. I will say this, we're going to have a short executive session after consent. So, but we won't have anything to decide after consent. So. out of consent, I'm going to do now, by our own authority, we have the power to call an executive session if we need to meet with an attorney, and we're going to do that at this time. So I'm asking for a motion to move into executive session with our county attorney.
I make a motion.
Second.
A motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to move into executive session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we are in executive session. I'm going to ask anyone from the public to leave the room. County officials, y'all can stay here if you want to, but we're going to ask that, sorry. Okay, we are out of executive session. Is there any other business of the court? Hearing none, we are on to motion, or item number 22, which is the last of the day. Announce the next meeting / adjourn. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, May 27th, because of Memorial Day. Tuesday, May 27th at 10 a.m. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion made by precinct 1. Second by precinct 3 to adjourn. All those adjourning say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned till May 27th. See you then. Thanks.